Hi folks, it's time for the paper dresses. I've been asked for these a few times now, so I hope that you love making these up. Let's get stuck in. Here we are folks. Here's the bonus printable for the pleated dresses that look like this. Aren't they gorgeous? So you've got two skirts, a choice of two different tops for each one, and some of the little bits and bobs that you can use to decorate and also obviously incorporate your own things. So I'll go ahead and cut this out and come back to you and show you how to assemble the skirt in particular. So here it is cut out. I've gone for the darker one just so that it will show up on my paler background, and I'm going to start by making score lines down all of these darker lines that you can see running through the skirt. If you want to line that up with your scoring board, you can do. It's easy enough to do, or you can go down just gently with a suitable object. I use the back of my craft knife on a shallow angle. I'll just go all the way around these. And the way I like to line these up is to put my tool on the line, put my ruler against that mark there, and then I can use that as a pivot to line up the top bit. And I find that much easier than fiddling about like this. So that's it, that's all of those done. Now the folding can be a little bit confusing because we're going to go back on ourselves, but for now don't worry about that. Just get all of those creases made. Whether you go backwards and forwards or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're going to open it up again. When we're done, we're just putting those folds in place for now. Can get a little bit fiddly up towards the top here because you're not working with much there, so you need to be careful on these top creases that you get those in the right place. There we go. It's quite easy if you've got your scoring deep enough, but obviously not too deep that you damage the paper. And then you can go back and go the other way so that when you come to fold it up in the way it needs to be folded up, you're not going to have any issues folding that paper whichever way it needs to go. So whichever creases you folded one way, go back now and do them the other way. And they're much easier to do now you've made that initial crease and damaged those paper fibres. There we are. Now you don't have to, but before I go ahead and fold this up, I'm going to put some lace at the bottom. This, I use the bottom of the edge rather of a little doily like this, which I'm going to do again because I like paper lace. And also I'm very stingy with my beautiful stash of old cotton lace. So that detaches quite easily from there. And it's already perforated. And then we can just go ahead, turn it over, and we've already got a curve in this. So it's actually quite a friendly little shape to work with. So I'll put a bit of glue down all the way along the bottom edge of my skirt on the back. There, and just go ahead and manipulate this lace into shape. It needs a couple of little creases like that, but it doesn't matter, you don't have to pleat it or anything like that. You just pop it down, making sure that you've got the length that you want on the other side. I'm going to go a bit shallower than that, I think, if I've still got a little bit of wiggle room. And you can do it from the front like this as well, so you can see what you're doing, which actually works better for me. And as well, if you let your glue go a little bit tacky before you start sticking it down, which this is now, I'm reaching this edge, it sticks down really nicely. Trim off that extra little bit. And there's the basic skirt. Now then, to fold it, we're going to start with this middle fold. Fold it under on itself. And then this short piece here, we fold back. And on this next one, because we want these 3 pleats to be at the top, we're going to fold this forwards and the next one backwards. And there we've got 1.5 pleats made. And again, on the other side, we do the same thing. So we fold this middle crease, which is this one. We fold that under. This one, this little crease, this little section here, we're folding that back on itself. And then back. And there it is, the basic skirt. And then you can just press that down. So I'll go through that again. We've got this center crease here. We're folding underneath on both sides. Then this one folds on top. This one folds on top. That one goes underneath. And that one goes underneath. If it's a little bit confusing, just have a play about with it and it'll fall into place for you. So to glue the dress on, we need to make sure that everything's flat. It doesn't need to be flat when it's finished, but it needs to be flat right now. So we can position the top where it needs to be. So I can see where I need to come to, where I need to glue to. So I'll hold all of that flat and glue this area here. I also want to pop a bit of glue just under the top of these folds here. There we go, that should do. Then I can put the top in place, glue that down. If you want to, you can go ahead and secure that with a little bit of tape as well. I'll just bring it a little bit further down because I don't want that back to show. And there we are. That's the basic dress. How simple is that? Now you can go ahead and decorate that however you want. You can see with these two, I've got the paper lace. Oh, I haven't inked this in. Right, okay. Let's go ahead and do that now. It's obviously quite straightforward on the top. On the skirt itself, before you stick it together, so you can still get at these folds, you can just go ahead down these creases. In fact, I can still take that apart. It's still tacky. We're all right. You can just go down these folds like this. It gives you a lovely vintage look if that's what you're about. I always forget to ink things in. Get carried away with my enthusiasm in constructing things. That'll do for the sake of the video. So now we can go back and we know that this is the top. The centre crease goes at the top. The next one to it goes at the bottom and at the top again and at the top, and they fold under like that. And hopefully my glue is still nice and tacky and I can stick it back together. There we go. And ink up these edges. I haven't inked up the bottom of the doily because it's fiddly and it frustrates me, but you can do if you've got the patience and the delicate touch needed to do that. There, that'll do fine. So now you can go ahead and decorate this however you like. I love these little paper roses, little bit of ribbon. I've got a little bit of ribbon here. I've got some little, I use this, I've had this for a million years and I don't know where I got it from, a craft shop somewhere. Liquid pearls. I don't use it often, but when I do, it's really effective. So there we go. Please post your photographs when you've made this up and show us the results that you get. We'd really love to see that. Any problems, any queries, post in the comments and I'll help you out with those. Okay, see you soon.